What up, y'all? My name is Chris Rivers, and I am a dragon. Being a child of a legend, there's definitely some hardships, living up to the standard of who he was. Initially, it was difficult because I just started rapping, and I might spit a dope verse, but if it's not as dope as my father's greatest verse, then they're gonna be like, oh, you're whack. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. You're gonna compare me to one of the greatest of all times, and if I'm not that good as soon as I start, then I'm garbage. So it's struggling with that, but I think ultimately that kept me on my toes, and it forced me to become great enough to live up to his name, but to also break free of his name and create my own legacy as well. So it's a blessing. It's a double-edged sword, but ultimately it's a blessing. I've been asked the same question so many damn times that it's like, as soon as I hear it, it's just a trigger, like ping, I have an automated response. The day that someone doesn't ask me anything about my pops and it's all an interview about me, that's the day I really truly I know like I made it for me. In New York, everybody feels like they the hottest or they that one. So it's like if you're not that person or that person's mans, then they not rocking with you. And so it's really hard to get fan support. It's really hard to get artist support, different, I'm saying, that group feel, but ultimately I would say like Jay-Z said in the song, man, you make it in New York, you make it anywhere. Like, it's definitely a demographic that you're going to want to tackle. It's one of the biggest. It's one of the, once you do have them, they do rock with you, but getting there is the difficult part, but it's always worth it. So it's something you got to do. At my stage of my career, more people don't know who I am than do. I'm opening for someone like The Lox, who I just came on tour with, and every show is sold out on the tour. I know that I'm going to be creating more fans than I already have. Performing is one of the greatest feelings, man. It's really euphoric. Like, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm talking to a group of my friends. These people could have been anywhere in the world, and they're just here listening to you pursue your dreams. It's dope. The DeLorean is my favorite project of mine up to date, definitely. It's not a full concept album. I would say it's lightly conceptual. I just didn't want to drill into people's heads like a concept, into I wanted them to interpret it for themselves. I'm in the car itself, and the car itself is a robot. It's a DeLorean, and we're talking back and forth. It's an automaton, and it essentially is trying to understand the human experience. So it's asking me questions, forcing me to think deeply, and then it resonates within the song. So there might be songs that's a little more ignorant, or songs that's a little more open or deep or profound, but a lot of it is fun, and I think it's going to show people a lot more about who I am as a person and my charisma and character, and the videos are going to be way more fun, and I think I'm really going to be able to access a lot of different demographics with this one. So I love it, and I just can't wait for it to drop. Hip-hop is, as a genre, is still in this weird teen, still waiting to be defined stage. And when you think about genres like classical music that's been around for 100 years, or rock and roll that's been around a lot longer than hip-hop, there's like subsections in it, there's genres within it. Like, if you listen to Coldplay, you're probably not going to mess with a band like Slipknot or Metallica. It's not your type, but not to say one is bad or one is better than the other, but it's like, if you like this type of music within that umbrella, then you listen to that type. And I think with hip-hop, it hasn't been defined yet. There hasn't been someone that came forth and said, this is this type of hip-hop, this is this type of hip-hop, and this means this and that means that. But I think when that is going to happen, I feel like within the next decade it's going to happen, and people need to acknowledge that hip-hop is an umbrella now. It's not that one thing, that golden era type of hip-hop, and you need to accept that, or you're going to be constantly stuck in the past. Like, you got to accept the fact that it's progressing, it evolved, it's bigger now, and there's going to be some sections of it that you don't like. And just like if you don't like alternative or you don't like death metal, just don't listen to that type. Hip-hop is not my end goal, and once I completely conquer this field, once I completely dominate everything I want to do in this, then I'm going to use this as a stepping stone, whether it be the resources that I gathered, or the people that I've met, or the notoriety, or the money. I'm going to definitely use this to catapult myself into the next chapter of my life. So I would definitely say that I'm currently living a dream, but and my dreams are always evolving and expanding, and ultimately I think my whole life is going to be one big dream come true.